Hi guys, my name is Shyla Colt and I'll be doing something a little bit different today. Something I like to think of as author speaks. Now I know a lot of you really like the different things I've been doing with the unboxings and you really like the romance in the real world. Today I'm going to do a little bit of an introduction because I've heard a lot of why did you start writing, what is it like to be a writer, why did you write this particular book, and I want to take the time to address that. Why do I write romance? Because I like happy ever afters. Because I think life is difficult enough with its own challenges. And sometimes you need to read a story about someone overcoming. And that's sort of what I hope my message is. That no matter what you have to go through, in the end you can find your happiness and be a stronger person for it. I love writing strong females. I don't think that there are enough of them out there. So that is something you will always see from me. When I first decided to be a writer, it was really because as I read, I didn't see people who looked or acted like me. And I always would wonder, either A, why is my personality always a sidekick personality? Or B, why is there no one that I can really relate to? So I set out to diversify romance, which is why Shyla Colt, the diverse route to happily ever after. If you've read a couple of my books, you will see that they're all different in their own ways. I like to think that my characters are very real and very flawed, as we all are. And I like to take them through a journey so that the person they are, by the time the book says the end, isn't the person that they were when you first met them. Today I'm going to be specifically talking about my Kings of Chaos series because the second book, A Lighter Shade of Blue, will be out on July the 28th. We're going to talk about book number 1, which is Spun. I don't know where Spun came from, really, because it was one of those cases where the character came to me first. And I kind of woke up and I knew it was going to be about Wizard, who was a club enforcer, who's been doing his job for too long and is sort of disconnected with the emotional side. And Nevada, who isn't your typical character. She did grow up in the club environment. She had a mom who was very absent, very worried about partying, and a dad who didn't know what to do with her really and wasn't really ready to make a commitment as a parent. So she's a tough girl and she can take care of herself, and then she finds herself in a situation where she needs someone's help. I'm actually going to just read a little bit of chapter 1 to you. Chapter 1. Clueless people like to say bullshit like, life only happens to you if you let it. Those are the ones who have had the luxury of a good life and caring parents. The entitlement kids they drone on about on television. Born with a set of rose-colored glasses, they can't even fathom what life without choice would be like. Truth is, we're all born into situations. Most can change the path that their life takes. They can leave, escape, and shape themselves into whatever they wish. For people like me, that isn't possible. I was born into the Kings of Chaos to a father who only cared when it was convenient, and a mother who never wanted the title. Don't get me wrong. They weren't the worst parents in the world. I didn't get beaten, starved, or bartered out for cash. I've seen all those things happen in our life. I always had a roof over my head, clothes on my back, and food in my gut. In their minds, that is where their parental duties ended. So you can see as you meet her, Nevada's had a rough life. But she's not going to let that stop her. And that's what really inspired me to write her story and really made me fall in love with her, because she's a fighter and you definitely get to see her struggle through her trials in this book. Why do I write MC romance? This is something I'm asked a lot. It's because I relate to that, having been a military wife, where you're in an institution that people outside of it don't necessarily understand. There's a certain hierarchy. The job comes first. The wife has to be very strong. She has to hold down the fort. You don't always know where they're going, what they're doing. It was very similar in that aspect. Of course, we are talking different sides of the coin there, but it was similar enough where I felt like I could sort of add my experience to it without necessarily reliving it, because we just sort of got out of the military lifestyle and I'm not really ready to write about that. That was another question that you guys have asked me a lot. Why don't I write military romance? Because it's still so fresh for me. It's not really sort of an escape from reality. It would just sort of be rehashing what I've already done. And And as a writer, I think we also do want to escape into a different world. We want to create worlds and peoples, and you don't want to be feeling like, as you're writing this, like, wow, I'm really writing about my friend Joe, well, this happened to him, sort of thing. You want to be inspired by it and put your own spin to it, which is what the MC romances allow me to do. Also, met some incredible people within the lifestyle who really do counsel me and let me know if I'm on point, if I'm not on point. No, I'm never going to repeat what they've said to me. But they know who they are. That's another question I ask. Do I do research? Yes. Do I do interviews? Yes. But I would always like to do more. So if you want to talk to me about the lifestyle, please contact me, because I would love to do it. That's actually on my list next to do, is more interviews. It's something I really like doing and I haven't gotten to do a lot of. So I hope you feel like you know a little bit more about me, a little bit more about the Kings of Chaos series. Again, second book will be out July 28th, A Lighter Shade of Blue. And as you can see, we have our very own swag made up, which I'm really excited about. I get really invested into my books, and that book is the longest I've ever written. It's 60,000 words plus, and I really think you guys are in for a treat with it. It's different from anything I've ever done. So thank you for sitting down and doing this Author Speaks with me. It's something I'd like to do again. If you have a particular series or book you'd like me to address, particular questions, please send them. I really enjoy getting a chance to talk to you guys sort of one-on-one and get to know you a little bit better. So I guess this is me signing off. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.